Picture time with Jonathan Fibonojji. You know, I've taken so many pictures in these past couple weeks, and I thought, let me just share with you some of my favorite pictures. And of course, I'm always going to brag on my own photographical skills, but if there's any of these pictures that you would like to buy or to kind of add to your, I guess, what's the word, home decor, whether you are maybe into skateboarding or maybe you're into, maybe you're a thrasher. Maybe you'll like this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures. Just remember, when you email me at americana417@gmail.com. Let me know, number one, where you are, because I love to see how the channel is growing, and just kind of one of the things that I like to do is just see how far just a simple YouTube channel can grow. Here's a guy, one of the most talented people in Durango. This is just boom. Check that out, 136. Oh, by the way, all my prints are $150. Just kind of like a typical print, 5x7. There's just something about that picture that I think kind of looks messianic. But I got to hustle because we've got a lot of pictures I want to show you, and nobody likes really long videos. So here we go. Picture time with Jonathan Fibonojji. So remember this girl. This is Where's Ronan. Remember we met her. This was sort of my, I guess my Fibonojji version of doing sort of a Humans of New York. I was just out walking, and she kind of chatted me up, and she had just lost her dog, and I was really proud of myself. Of course, I'm Jonathan Fibonojji, but to be able to, this was her, kind of her first walk without her dog. You can go watch that video, and where I kind of go into more detail, where she talks about where's Ronan, and I learned what a Ronan is. And I was so happy with myself because, here she is. She had just lost her dog of 10 years and smiling with this beautiful smile. And if there's one thing I want to do on this channel is bring laughter and happiness. And so to be able to photograph where's Ronan. And remember, if you remember, a Ronan is a female samurai who just lost her master. And her dog was named Ronan. 191. If you know her around Durango, tell her $150. You can buy that print. I think she looks beautiful here. Where's Ronan? Got to hustle, man. Remember, we're gonna eventually run into Ernest Hemingway. Of course, the bridge picture, the ubiquitous. That's the word of the day. The ubiquitous bridge picture. I never get tired of. Of course, there's my Red Richie. I never get tired of Durango and just some of the beauty that it offers. Now, this was kind of an attempt at silhouetting, kind of a new thing or new genre. I know my name is Jonathan Fibonojji, but I saw these kids out there playing on this, what do you want to call that, a grassy knoll? Here's some trivia. Did you know grassy knoll was never really a word until the JFK? But here I am silhouetting, told these guys to strut, boom. Thought this was really cool. Silhouetting with Jonathan Fibonojji. Boom, what's going on there? 227. Just experimenting. That's actually a Bic lighter. Trying to do some nighttime photography. And then, of course, we always do the boom. But we got to hustle, man. I want to show you Ernest Hemingway. And, of course, there's always a train to photograph. That's one of the cool things about living in Durango, is you have the train. Now, remember, any of these prints you can buy. Maybe your favorite number is 480. Boom. Just kind of watch the train go by. Any of these prints, $150 a print. Of course, you always got to smile at the caboose. Holla. Little Lieutenant Bird. There you go. I just don't think these guys get enough credit. If you ever see the 222 guy, throw him some deuces. Say Jonathan Fibonojji is back. All right, here we go. I want to show you some of my favorite prints. I moved out here 2 years ago. I'm originally from Oklahoma. I went to Duncan, Oklahoma. We were the Duncan Demons. So you can imagine how happy I am to be a Durango Demon. Of course, we didn't have near the amenities that Durango offers. So we say hog heaven where I'm from. Boom, 482. Look at that. Imagine that on your desk or on your office, or maybe you're from Durango. 482, boom. You're like, dude, I want that printed up. Can you do that? Can you frame it? Sure we can. $150 a print. Watch the train go by. fact, I got so close to that the bag that I was carrying had a shirt in it, and one of my shirts got frayed because the train ran over it. Remember these people? These beautiful people? He and his wife were out just kind of hanging out. And I'm trying to get better at my, what do you want to call that, street photography or bridge photography. And, you know, it's just really interesting to photograph people. One of the first things he said is he told me how long they were married. You can tell by those smiles that that's legit happiness right there. 4:35. If you know these people, tell them John Fibonojji's bragging on them. They look beautiful. And then after a while, we did round 2. She wanted a picture of the bridge. I said, I'll do it. I know a photographer. I asked, in this picture, I said, who's the smartest one there? She pointed to him. Of course, one of the pictures that I like the most is when she's looking at him affectionately. So who else can make, look at that, boom, $466. Frame that up, $150 a print. Beautiful Durangians. I didn't even get their names, but thank you for making my life easier. You're welcome, Fibonojji. Thank you for taking our picture. Are we going to hustle? Remember Ernest Hemingway. I know he's in the 800. I mean, like, they just didn't stop. I mean, they were happy. 479. That's how good I am, John Fibonojji. Of course, maybe you just want a picture of Red Ritchie. I'll sign that, $150. Put a signature on that. Then, of course, the commercials, like you got to always trying to be a commercial photographer. But really my heart is people. This guy is out there. This was sort of one of those bad experiences where the lighting just didn't work, and I got one picture that I liked out of about 20. So 528. He himself was a photographer, and that kind of intimidated me a little bit. But I got one picture that I liked, and this one I like a little bit because it's kind of his authentic self, and that's one of the things that I aim for whenever I'm taking a picture or when I'm photographing somebody. Is I really want to get their authentic self, and eventually we settled on this one, $150 print. Email me americano417@gmail.com. I just think everybody needs good photography, of each of your children, your parents, of course, and I would love to be a part of that. So if you have, if you would like to hire me to be your photographer for your family, remember, I don't like pose pictures. This guy was really cool. I'm sitting here at this park. I'm gonna show you. There's a concert. Another thing I like about Durango, just all the concerts that they give, and they're just, this was a free concert, and I'm just kind of hanging out, and this kid just walks up to me and literally shakes my hand. I'm like, this guy's gonna be the next Titan. I mean, he's gonna be like, boom, beautiful dog. So I finally said, all right, let me go put some color back on this. This kid was so cool. Of course, you can't have enough dog pictures. 583. If you know anybody at the Durango Herald, just tell them, say, this Fibonojji guy, he's taking really good pictures. You should hire him to be Durango's Marley and Me. Remember that movie? Oh, remember this guy. Boom. 591. I saw him. I can't really tell you where I saw him, but okay, I saw him. Here he is. The juice is loose. The beautiful raven. Sorry about that. Another thing that Main Street here in Durango offers is just some of the, window displays are just beautiful. Of course, more dog photography. 604. Remember, Ernest Hemingway is 800. There is literally a guy here in town. I just thought this was super cool. Night photography. This is my favorite. Just something about that window display. I was mentioning that Durango has some of the most under-celebrated window displays, and here's the Durango Coffee Company one thing I like about them is they recently renovated their shop, and they're decorating it with native photography. So eventually, Jonathan Fibonojji, you're going to see my prints in there. Just thought that was a really cool night shot. Remember, any of these photos you like, just let me know the number and email me americano417@gmail.com. I'd be happy to send you a print for $150. And you never know. See, Durango Herald, where was your guy? See, I'm just trying to get a job at the Durango Herald. My real goal is to work for the San Francisco Chronicle and kind of be a community photographer, because I just think there's something about photography and having people get out there in the community and take pictures of real people, like the train guy. Beautiful guy. Next time you see this guy, say, Jonathan Fibonojji's bragging on you. He's like, I know. In fact, go up and walk up and give him $5. Jonathan Fibonojji thinks you're a really cool cat. $6.99. Train guy. This is my favorite picture of him. 7:02. I think we captured it. Train in the background. Jonathan Fibonojji. Best photographer in the world. Well, then sometimes you have to go old school. Got to go old school, meet some old train people. And yes, I'm hustling because I got a lot of pictures to show you. But I thought this was interesting. This guy's sort of in kind of old-timey regalia. Is that the right word? There's always the guy in the overalls, and there's always the guy in the black jacket. 7:17 on the holla. John Fibonojji. Remember, Ernest Hemingway's coming up. And if you didn't know this, but I've lived here for 2 years. This is one of my first times to visit the Durango Train Museum. And you will not be disappointed. In fact, I've been talking to those cats. I'm like, let me do some photography in there for you. They're like, why would we want to do that? I'm like, because it's 2017. Like, why would we want to do that? We haven't done that in 1,800 years. All right, because it's 42. That's one of my favorite numbers. Boom. Anyway, 731. Anyway, the Durango Train Museum even has beautiful cars. And if you like cars like me, boom. Then we got to hustle. Got Hemingway. Got about 4,000 train pictures. I like this one. These are some actual tools that they use on the train. I just thought this was cool. As I'm walking out, I just kind of put my camera through the window. Excuse me. I coughed and I went, that's a really cool picture in black and white. 744. Those are train parts. Beautiful Durango, Colorado. I don't know how much longer I'm going to live in Durango, but it's been such a wonderful experience. Of course, I always have to go #MRA. I always like to take pictures of, I don't know if you're like me, but I always prefer the Wall Street Journal over the New York Times, because the New York Times has all this chick rah-rah. So I always like to take pictures of, what really happens, when men, and this is what real parenting looks like. It's always the guy leading the charge and carrying the bag. It's one of my favorite parts of parks or places in Durango. I call this the Jonathan Park because they have this really cool bench that almost looks like petrified wood. It's called the Jonathan Park. It's one of the places that I like to visit. And this is a cool picture. Just two chicks. And I liked it because just the authenticity of their laughter. 777, trip 7 right there. The authenticity of that laughter, and just, it's not every day that you see authentic laughter, and I was fortunate enough to photograph that. Of course, it's not hard for me to take nature photography, but then my favorite subjects, of course, are people. People doing weird stuff like surfing on the Animas River. What the fuck? I know. It's amazing. Here we go. Of course, some of the coolest pictures are when they crash. And then there is Ernest. He came back to life. Boom. 858, if you know this guy. I think he wins the Durango Beard Contest. In fact, that's what I should do. I should call it the Fibonojji Durango Beard Contest. Just out there doing some surfing, Animas photography, and I run into Hemingway. All right, let's hustle. Remember, any of these prints you can buy for $150 a print. And you're not going to hurt my feelings if you email the Durango Herald and you let them know. Say, listen, man, you should hire this guy to be the local photographer, the community photographer. Yes, this is me practicing on some wedding photography, even though I don't really like weddings, but I would love to be a second shooter. So if you would like to hire me as a second shooter, remember, I don't really like to do a lot of pose pictures. I'm not the person that's going to do the Bridezilla stuff, but I'm the guy that's going to kind of do the second shooting. It's going to take pictures of all the cool people having a good time. Or in short, if you want to, the Fibonacci pictures are the ones that you're going to love. The person you hire that charges you the most money, that's the person that's going to take the picture that's going to go on the mantle. But I prefer the unposed pictures. 908. Any sort of event, whether it's a wedding, a funeral, maybe you're tight-roping. Remember this girl. The Raven. Of course, everybody's the Raven for me. Some tight-ropers out there in Buckley Park. One of my favorite pictures is this one. The Raven. Put some cool music in here. This is her boyfriend. One thing about taking, this is kind of a tip to other photographers. One of the cool things about taking pictures of people on a tightrope is that they can't be fake and they can't be forced. And so they have to, you're getting authentic expressions. So you might want to try that. If you are a photographer and you're looking to kind of do more Fibonacci work, which is more casual, genuine pictures. And then remember the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. They would not give me a tour, no matter what. So guess what? It's up to you guys. If you guys would like to see a Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, you're going to have to email them, say, listen, we know you haven't given a tour in over 16 years, but Jonathan Fibonacci is the exception. Email me, americano417@gmail.com. And remember Santa? Santa the Claus? I do. Remember this guy? He's out here taking pictures of the bridge. Boom. Santa Claus on a trike. I think his name is David. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's not a sunflower. That's another type. I forgot the name of it. If you know the name of that flower, email me, Americano417, or leave a comment. Just make sure you let me know where you're at. Say, hey, the flower at 1026, I want to buy it for $150, but... And then, of course, the bridge. The bridge. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Hope you like my photography. Remember, I have a passport, will travel. Would love to do some second shooter work. Always looking to develop my book. The better my pictures, the more work I get. Of course, we have Santa Claus again. How often do you see Santa Claus on a trike, except for Jonathan Fibonacci? Like I said, I want to keep these videos short. This is a little bit longer because I want to show you several of my pictures. Always looking to grow my YouTube channel, but also would like to bless your work or your home with some of my photography, or maybe you just like trains. Maybe you're from the Durango area. Would love to have a picture with some of my artwork to bless your home office. Or maybe, like I said, you're maybe from Durango. You just say, all right, we want you to, look at that, beautiful. I love this one because it looks like snow, but it was taken August 2nd. Picture 1169. Gonna hustle and wrap up here. If you have any questions, email me americana417@gmail.com. Promise eventually I'm gonna get a really cool editor. We're gonna put some cool music, but until now we're gonna kind of go old school guerrilla style. 1203. Again, another Thrasher skateboarding picture. This guy was really good. Really good. You can see him here. This is my favorite picture, though. 1218, Thrasher. Kind of another genre that I've been exploring is skateboarding photography. It's harder than you think it is because you got to kind of, well, anybody who does high-speed stuff, some more surfing on the river. Show me another city where people surf the river, and I'd love to come photograph it. All right, we're going to cut it short here. No video on YouTube. It needs to be longer than 25 minutes. You ever see some of those videos that are hours and hours long? I'm not Jonathan Fibonojji. We're going to keep it relevant. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Hope you like my photography. As always, email me americana417@gmail.com. If you leave your comments, you have to tell me where you are, because nothing makes me happier than to see how far this channel is growing. 1324. And then, of course, just the simple. There's actually a bee on that flower. And remember, hello, or cello, thank you for taking this journey with me. Amazing artist. Their tone was amazing. If you're a local musician in the Four Corners, remember all these prints. They're not $150 for you. They are only $48. I would love to make, wouldn't it be great, a Fibonacci picture on their next album. 1363. If you're a musician, just invite me. Your prints are only $48. And if you have a cello, all the better. Or if you have a fedora, boom. $13.78. Remember, if you like one of these prints, you have to let me know which number it is. Say, all right, dude, $150. I want some serious barbecue. 1402. That's another thing I'm doing on this channel. If you would like to promote your small business, if you're serious about it, email me, americana417@gmail.com, and I'll profile your business kind of in a comedic way, hopefully a comedic way, for only $18.21 per year. $18.21 per year. And I haven't decided, if I'm going to, if I'm in terms of bands, how much I'm going to charge a band, because I really want to support my local artist or my fellow artist. And I know sometimes it's just so difficult to get good marketing. So for now, just if you like some of these prints, if you're a musician, $48 a print. Otherwise, if you just like to frame something and put it on your desktop or your office, it's $150 a print. Sunset, baby. Look at that. Sunset on the Animus. 1469. 1471. What is it about being on the river or on the ocean at night on the sunset? I don't know either. All right. We have to close out with Jehovah Hawk. That means I have to hustle. Jehovah Hawk, you're like, well, aren't you just going to be like enthusiastic? No, that's just a sign that I found. Thought it was interesting. It's not every day that you see a sign laying down that just says enthusiasm. Of course, you can tell. Nothing makes me happy. Well, that's not true. Photography is one of those things that just is a passion of mine. Jacob's Ladder, 1527. Local Durango. And then we're going to end on Jehovah Hawk. But we have to hustle. This may be my longest video. Here's a local celebrity, another local musician. First of all, when I first met him, this is how we started. But then I mentioned that I saw his article in the Telegraph. I said, give me the real... I forgot his name, but he writes most of his music about food. I thought that was kind of interesting. More train. 481. These didn't come out very good, but I got some deuces. Holla. All right, we got to hustle. Got 1,900 images to go through. Who else is doing that except Jonathan Fibonojji? More train. 1645. These came out a little bit better. In fact, you can hear the train in the background. But last night's picture of Jehovah Hawk, oh, by the way, if you would like to email me, there you go. Americano417@gmail.com. Have passport, will travel. Meal Mount Smelter. I'll show you my favorite. Where'd it go? Just working on some basic marketing. This is my favorite picture of Smelter right there. 1758. The city of Durango. $150 a print. Email me Americano417@gmail.com. Jehovah Hawk's coming. Remember last night? I was out here and I saw this beautiful falcon or hawk or red-tailed hawk. I think it was a red-tailed hawk, and just sitting there. And I'm like, I'm just going to wait for this thing to take off, and I'm going to take a picture of it. 1830. What is it about a tree in black and white that's so beautiful? I don't know either. Again, sorry for the longer video, but I wanted to show you a long series of my prints. Here you go. 1854. Jehovah Hawk. And one of the coolest things was when it took off in the shape of a heart. I never knew that. And then, start here. This is my favorite picture, just the stillness of that. Just the stillness, just be still and know. And you have not known stillness until you have been waiting on a hawk to finally leave a sunset branch. And then boom. 1864. Heart. Jehovah Hawk. 1866. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Leave your comments. Tell me where you're at. Email me Americano417@gmail.com. Durango, you've been so good to me. Backwards and forwards. If you don't know this, Durango has one of the best rec centers. 1890. If any of these prints you like, $150 a print, or maybe you just like to know what Durango looks like backwards. 1883, you guys be good. Sorry for the long video. Sometimes I want to show all my work. Thank you for taking this journey with me.